From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, May 24th. We are going to stay warm for a little while longer, a couple more days at least. Now, the 80-degree temperatures will be joined by more humidity today and tomorrow. Deadly scene in the heart of downtown Indianapolis. Police found 2 men killed, a third man and a woman hurt, all outside the Fairfield Inn and Suites next door to the JW Marriott. Happened just before 1 o'clock this morning. Police tell us 2 men were shot right outside of the hotel. They were dead when medics arrived. A woman was shot in front of the lobby. She's in the hospital in critical condition. We do not know much about the fourth person, but is said to also be in serious condition. Police say they're working with a lot of evidence, including surveillance video and witnesses. They are cooperating. We spoke with a captain who says they're aware it is race week and want to keep everyone safe.
We have extra patrols out here. We've beefed up downtown district. So we have extra cars. This looked like a one-time event. Hopefully it was a one-off. We usually don't really have that much crime at the hotels downtown. They're very safe. We usually don't have any events. We're going to find out why this happened and what the issue was.
Right now, it's unclear if the victims were maybe guests of the hotel, if they were from out of town, if they were locals. But certainly a story we'll be following for you on air and online. A hit and run leaves a man in critical condition. It happened just before 3 this morning at 16th and Kessler, about a mile east of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Police tell us a vehicle hit the man, then left, and someone passing by found that man. No word yet from investigators about what kind of car or truck they're trying to find or who might have been driving. New reports are fueling new questions about the origins of COVID-19. A U.S. intelligence report says several researchers at a lab in Wuhan, China, fell severely ill in November of 2019 and ended up in the hospital. It's the same lab that's been under investigation as a possible source for the coronavirus, though CNN reports that intelligence agencies do not know if that's what made the researchers ill. China has said the first recorded COVID case was 1 month later in December of 2019. The World Health Organization has said the virus most likely started with animal-to-human contact. The State Department under the Trump administration strongly criticized that conclusion. The CDC says about 1 out of every 12 children between 12 and 15 years old has received a first dose of a COVID vaccine. Vaccinations overall, though, are slowing down. According to the agency, the average daily pace of shots is down almost 50% from April. Health officials are focusing vaccination efforts in the South now, where there are 8 states with fewer than half of adults with at least 1 shot.
Last summer, right around June, July, we saw a big surge of cases in the South. Why in the South? Because it gets pretty hot. It's hard to spend time outside. People cluster indoors. And if we have large numbers of unvaccinated people in those states, we may very well see a surge in those states.
Several states on the East Coast and Hawaii report 70% of their adult populations have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine. It is the last day for the Max Vaccination Clinic at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. According to the track, people can either get the Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer versions. We checked this morning. There are appointments available all day. The state health department also says walk-ins are welcome. We'll let you know before, but people who get vaccinated during the month of May get a special race-themed T-shirt. Now to understanding anxiety from what's known as pandemic reentry. Mental health is taking another hit as we change back to what's considered normal. As more people head out to restaurants or shops, in places like downtown Carmel, masks are not required. The CDC says it's safe if you're vaccinated, but mental health experts say about half of adults are having a tough time with this transition back to normal life. Hannah Mordeau reports.
I got the Pfizer Princess.
Elizabeth Ball is fully vaccinated and on the move, ready to see friends.
I think we got vaccines for a reason, so I'm not really anxious.
For Joyce Almeida, it's not as simple.
For a large gathering that's not wearing masks, I just try to stay away from it for my own peace of mind.
She's also fully vaccinated, and despite the CDC saying it's safe for vaccinated people to remove their masks in most situations, she wants these safety measures to stay.
We're too quick to try to just remove everything like the mask.
So what now?
Do what's best
for you.
David Berman is the vice president of Mental Health America Indiana and says some people are struggling with anything post-pandemic.
50%, according to a recent poll by the American Psychological Association, of adults have anxiety about reintegrating. And we are all in it together, but we're all navigating it once again at our own pace.
He says before you socialize, communicate. Just get those awkward conversations out of the way. Like, hey, I'm fully vaccinated. How about you? Yeah, I'm vaccinated too. So I guess we don't have to wear our masks. I guess not, but I don't know if I'm ready just yet. I'm comfortable with it. Are you comfortable with it?
I'm absolutely comfortable with it.
Berman says if you're uncomfortable, don't criticize yourself or stress out. Take your time with small steps, like seeing people outdoors. Be patient and set clear boundaries.
Communicate that, and the people that love and care about us, it's not going to make a difference one way or the other.
Finally, when you're back to socializing, don't let peer pressure take over.
Don't let that social external influence change what's best for you, because that is just going to further exacerbate the anxiety you're already feeling.
For these women,
Going back to normal, I don't think it's going to come anytime soon. We got vaccinated, I think, for a reason, so let's get back to normal.
the new normal looks different, and that's okay.
And also, as Hannah reports, if you're not having reentry anxiety, that's great. But mental health experts say to keep in mind how your actions might still impact people around you and be empathetic. A new study shows 2 vaccines are highly effective against the Indian variant of COVID-19. According to a study published in Public Health England, the Pfizer vaccine is 88% effective against symptoms of the variant 2 weeks after the second dose. That's compared to being 93% effective against the UK variant. The study also found 2 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine were 60% effective against the Indian variant. That shot is 66% effective against the UK variant. The AstraZeneca vaccine is not available in the United States. And this morning, more than 2,000 National Guard troops are set to head home from the U.S. Capitol. The Associated Press confirms the troops' mission to protect the Capitol ended yesterday after nearly 5 months. The Guard arrived soon after the January insurrection. One of the coordinators of the response tells CBS that after troops leave, Capitol Police will secure the building, but the complex will remain closed to public visits. And the White House is lowering the total cost of President Biden's proposed infrastructure plan. It's part of negotiations between the president and Republican lawmakers. According to the White House, the price tag went from $2.3 trillion to $1.7 trillion. Republicans had countered with an alternative costing $568 billion. A White House senior advisor says the president is willing to move forward on the bill if no action is taken.
Look, he wants a deal. He wants it soon. But as there are meaningful negotiations taking place in a bipartisan manner, he's willing to let that play out. But again, he will not let inaction be the answer. And when it gets to the point where it looks like that is inevitable, you'll see him change course.
The White House says it wants progress toward an agreement by the end of the week. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announces plans to visit the Middle East. Blinken tweeted that President Biden requested he go to Jerusalem, Ramallah, Cairo, and Amman to meet the parties to support their efforts to solidify a ceasefire. Blinken says the U.S. will be part of intensive diplomacy to bring an end to the hostilities and reduce tensions. Last week, Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire after 11 days of violence between the two. And we do expect to learn new information in a mass shooting in New Jersey today. 2 people are dead, 12 more are hurt, and state police say they'll have more to release soon. It happened at a house party late Saturday night in Fairfield. It's a suburb of New York City. State police say hundreds of people ran for cover when the shooting started, and neighbors say they thought fireworks were going off.
We've had a lot of violence in our community, a lot of fighting. And we're working so hard. That's the saddest thing. We're making so much progress.
So far, investigators haven't announced any arrests or publicly named any suspects. And a man is under arrest for the murders of 2 adults and a 4-year-old in Peru. Indiana State Police accused Mitchell Page of the murders. On Friday, police found the bodies of Jessica Sizemore, Josiah Hall, and a 4-year-old, Raylan Sizemore. Police believe they were shot the Sunday before. They also found a 2-year-old boy alive in the home. He wasn't hurt, but taken to the hospital to be checked out. State police say the suspect had a child with the woman killed. Firefighters are looking into what sparked another fire at the OmniSource recycling plant. This is the second time in less than a month that the plant's caught fire. Officials say that the fire started on a conveyor belt. Flames traveled throughout the building. Fans at Indianapolis Motor Speedway said that they could even see those large smoke clouds coming from the plant. This was just after 2 yesterday afternoon. Crews got the fire out in about 20 minutes. No one was hurt. A big detour starts for walkers, runners, and riders in downtown Indianapolis. The Monon Loop opened this morning at 7 o'clock. During the massive overhaul of the North Split, the main path of the Monon Trail has to be closed through the construction area. The loop splits off north of the interstate, goes west around the construction zone, and connects to the Cultural Trail on the south end. Then, when the revamp is done, the loop will stay on as a permanent part of the trail options downtown. The field of 33 drivers is set for the 105th Indianapolis 500. Scott Dixon won the pole position yesterday for the fourth time in his career. He managed to get the edge over Colton Herta by hundredths of a second. Grand Prix winner Rinus VeeKay fills out the front row. In the back row, Simona de Silvestro secured the final position for the race. That bumped R.C. Anderson and Charlie Kimball from racing this Sunday. Kimball says he knew the competition should be fierce this year.
That's what Indianapolis is, right? That's the drama, that's the glory, that's the challenge of this place, this racetrack, this facility, this race. I think it's a testament to the competitive level of the IndyCar Series, the Indianapolis 500. There's no question in my mind these are the best drivers in the world at this racetrack. We just chased speed all week and weren't able to get it done.
The drivers will be back at the track on Friday for Carb Day. And skim milk gets no love from the field of 33. Each year, the American Dairy Association asks all the starters whether they'd like whole, 2%, or skim for the traditional first swig in victory lane. This year, 21 say they want whole. 12 requested 2%. Not a single driver chose skim. If you know 500 history, you know the tradition started with buttermilk, which is the Dairy Association is something it doesn't offer anymore. But Simona de Silvestro and Ed Carpenter requested it anyway. Juan Pablo Montoya also went with a write-in candidate, chocolate milk. And business is booming in Speedway as the city gets ready for race day. The Speedway Arts Council set up a pop-up art shop for visitors to stop by and check out. The Arts Council says local artists can display and sell their pieces at the shop. The organization says the event has been huge for artists who couldn't work during the pandemic. Actually, according to the council, the shop has been its most successful event in history. Council leaders say they plan to use the momentum going forward. The pop-up shop opens back up on Friday and runs through race weekend. And many are mourning the loss of an IndyCar star we didn't get to see often enough in Indianapolis. Andre Ribeiro died of cancer. He was a talented driver whose best years came during the split that fractured the sport for several years. He only got to race once at the Indy 500 in 1995. He would go on to win 3 races as part of the kart series, including the first open-wheel win for Honda in IndyCar. Ribeiro was 55. And you can fly into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in style if you have the cash. A Fort Wayne-based company is once again offering premium helicopter flights on race day. Randy Sharkey is the pilot on the job. He joined us live on Daybreak this morning to talk about the flights and what's offered. It's $650 round trip. Flights do go in and out of the track.
The helicopter can hold up to 6 passengers per flight. The flight time is just 5 to 7 minutes. We'll be landing at the driving range on the golf course right near turn number 2. Once we land, the ground support crew will assist you off of the helicopter, where a golf cart will be waiting to take you right to your seat. It is truly a VIP experience.
To reserve your seat, just visit Sweet Helicopters, visit their website. And people in Indiana are buying lottery tickets at a record pace. The State Lottery Commission says scratch-off ticket sales are projected to be up almost 27% since last June. Sales for big jackpot games like Powerball and Mega Millions are expected to be up 19% compared to last year. The Lottery Commission is anticipating $1.7 billion in lottery sales, resulting in $368 million for the state. The agency is not expecting another jump next year as coronavirus restrictions are lifted and more people take part in activities. 21 ultramarathon runners are dead after hail and strong winds hit during a high-altitude race in China. The runners were racing on a narrow mountain path in the Yellow River Stone Forest on Saturday. A woman who works for the race organizer explains severe weather wasn't in the forecast for the day of the race. The local branch of the National Early Warning Information Center disagreed. Those officials said that warnings of hail and strong winds were out for the past 3 days. Marathon organizers called off the race and launched a search party for any missing runners. As of yesterday, 151 of the 172 participants were found. A deal may head off prison time for 2 guards who were supposed to be monitoring Jeffrey Epstein when he killed himself. Authorities say the workers lied on prison records to make it appear that they were checking in on Epstein before he was found dead in his cell. Under a deal with federal prosecutors, the pair would serve supervised release instead of prison time. They would also complete 100 hours of community service and cooperate with the Justice Department's investigation into Epstein's alleged child sex trafficking. A judge will decide whether to approve the deal. And some thrift stores in the area say they're getting more trash donations. Those are items that cannot be sold or have very little value. Goodwill is still finding ways to get some treasure from that trash. Goodwill of Central Indiana and Southern Indiana have seen a 10% increase in donations since last year. And they're finding ways to make almost all of those donations work. Every Goodwill is different. They operate 4 outlet stores as well as an extensive recycling operation. This allows them to get value out of items that people might not think have value. For example, a strand of Christmas lights that doesn't light up, Goodwill can recycle the metal inside the wire. And then that money goes to support education, employment, and health-based programs.
A plastic push toy that's missing a wheel, we can bale and sell as bulk plastic for recycling. So it's just a few examples how those facilities allow us to accept a really wide range of donations and still get value out of them and keep them out of our landfills.
There are some items Goodwill cannot accept, like household trash, mattresses, bed springs, and sofa beds, as well as used tires, scrap lumber, concrete, and bricks. Plus, televisions, which actually happens quite often. If you need to properly dispose of a TV, the state of Indiana has a recycling program, as well as the city of Indianapolis. Plus, many communities also have ways to get rid of large electronics. The biggest message from Goodwill, though, is if you have to think about it, donate it, because chances are they can get some value out of it. And finally, your business headlines. Home prices already through the roof are expected to keep climbing. A national housing shortage is showing no signs of easing, and the cycle is not expected to break anytime soon. The median existing home price in April was up 19% from last year to $341,600. That's according to the National Association of Realtors. Meanwhile, Redfin reports half of homes are now selling above list price. Companies are offering higher wages as they grapple with a labor shortage. Under Armour announced this week that it was boosting its minimum wage following other companies like McDonald's, Chipotle, and Bank of America. It's been at least 25 years since U.S. businesses were willing to increase worker pay. While this won't affect the bottom line right away, it could start to squeeze profits down the road. Both Lyft and Uber will be teaming up with the White House to begin offering free rides to COVID-19 vaccination centers beginning today. Lyft will offer a ride code covering up to $15 for each trip to and from a vaccination site. The offer covers daytime rides on bikes and scooters as well as cars. Uber has not provided additional details on the plan. Americans are returning to restaurants, bars, and other dining places as COVID-19 restrictions come down, adding new strains in food supply chains. Distributors are facing difficulty in finding workers and surging transportation costs. Demand has changed too. Restaurants that remained open slimmed down their menus during the pandemic and shifted from fresh ingredients for salad bars and buffets. Pampers has launched an eco-friendly hybrid diaper. The latest Pampers diaper aims to bring together the benefits of both cloth and disposable diapers. Using 25% less disposable material, Pampers Pure Protection hybrid diapers are reusable cloth diapers with a disposable insert made with a plant-based liner. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.